Dasani water is absolutely fucking disgusting, and if you go out your way to choose to drink Dasani, you need to be eradicated from this earth. So yeah, hot takes. Some of these are clearly more controversial than others, but all of them I can somewhat definitively back it up. Let's get started. So first is easy. Quarterback highlights are boring as hell. Well, more specifically, pocket passers or like just any highlights of a quarterback throwing is actually boring. Because, you know, when you're looking at a highlight, you're trying to be like excited. You're trying to be like, oh my God. With like quarterback highlights, you're doing the same thing over and over. Just, oh, that's a good throw. And then it basically turns into like a film session, which isn't bad. I mean, watching film is cool. Like if you go watch Tom Brady's highlight tape, it's like, that's cool. Like he can throw, like we know what he can do, but it's like, it's not very exciting. Like look at this play, for example. It's a good play. Matt Ryan finds the open guy, but it's like, it's not very exciting. You get what I'm saying? Or this one. This is Aaron Rodgers literally last season coming off an MVP. Like it looks good. Like it was a hell of a throw. He put it there, but like it's not very exciting for the casual watcher. So I can definitely see why people do not want to watch quarterback highlights. You have to really enjoy the sport. It's like lineman highlights. Like you have to really enjoy the sport to be like, man, look at that play. So I've actually seen a few basketball fans themselves say this one, but defense is a skill. Being a good defender is a skill. People say Giannis isn't skilled, but just take out his offensive game because we saw the finals. We know he can do. But defense is a skill. People who lead the league in steals, that's a skill. Knowing when to come help on defense, that's a skill. Think about it like this. Your offense, because clearly offense is the only skill, right? Shooting, a skill. Dribbling, a skill. But all of that is just mental stuff. You're shooting, okay, your muscle memory and you're thinking about, all right, I need to do this arc. Or you're dribbling, once again, muscle memory, or you're thinking, all right, if he's turned to the left, I'm going to cross and attack the other foot. Like that type of stuff that's considered skill is no different than defense. Knowing when to come double team, knowing, okay, if he crosses to his left hand is weaker, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to steal there. Yes, it's mental, but it's a skill. And people they don't really understand that. Like for instance, look at this play here. KD begins trying to get physical and back down Jrue Holiday. And Jrue Holiday, he just swipes it out. You know why? Because he has skill. Think about it. We already know what Kevin Durant is going to do. He's going to back him down, get to the mid-range. He's going to do a turnaround jumper, or he's just going to fade back. And if you don't believe me, this is the same season. Look what he does. Dribble, 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 fade. Ball. Or even right here, just look at the GOAT, man. He's dribble, hits it three. Oh man, I missed it. All right, we going to the other way. All right, he's taking it for a layup. Let me time it perfectly. That is skill. Yes, it takes athleticism and a motor to run back down there, but you have to understand that I cannot touch him or that is a foul. I need to know where to put my hand, when to swipe at the ball, because if it hits the backboard first, it's a goaltend. You get what I'm saying here? Defense is a skill. Actually, this one isn't too much of a hot take. This is actually very, very realistic, and it probably will happen. This man is going to break the single season rushing record this year. Okay, so hear me out. We already know what Derrick Henry can do. 1,000 yards, then 1,500 yards, then 2,000 yards this past season. So clearly he can do it. Why don't they just stack the box? Why don't they just stack the box? They can't. Not only do they have AJ Brown, they now have this man.
Over the top, out of the hands of Malcolm Butler, who thought he had an interception. Just too big,
So it's really coming down to picking your poison. You stack the box to stop Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill going to throw it over top, because those are two of the most physically gifted receivers in the league right now. Think about that. You really want to have AJ Brown and Julio in one-on-one situations just because you want a few more hitters? Nah, you want to, get some DBs out there. Oh, man, now you got all them DBs out there? Hey, Derrick Henry, you know what we're doing. Straight up the gut, who's going to hit him? It's not too many defensive backs in the league who are just going to come down and hit Derrick Henry. Off the top of my head, I could probably name Harrison Smith, maybe Keanu Neal. That might just be it, just off the top of my head. Jonathan Abrams, he'll probably come down and hit him too. But like, that's a handful of people. It's not too many people that's going to come down and hit Derrick Henry. If teams decide, hey, I want to stop the pass, he is going to break the record. He was less than 100 yards from breaking it this year, and then they decided to add another regular season game. So think about that. The only problem would be, is a very, very high chance that he doesn't get 24 carries a game, just simply because their receiving attack is so much better than it was before. I mean, it wasn't necessarily bad before, but like adding Julio just makes your receiving core so much more deadly. Y'all already know I had to slip one in, but Zach LaVine over Bradley Beal for the 5th spot in the top 5 shooting guards in the league. All right, so like in my opinion, the top 5 is one, either Kyrie or James Harden, whichever one you think is the shooting guard for that team. Personally, I think it's Kyrie because I feel like Kyrie is more of a scorer. He's not that much of a facilitator, and James Harden is just so much better at playmaking than him. So I'm gonna put him at the 1 and Kyrie at the 2. So Kyrie would be my number 1 ranked shooting guard. Paul George or D-Book for that 2-3 spot. I don't know. I mean, you know, D-Book, he won when they played, but I low-key think Paul George is better. And then on the defensive aspect, like, he'll hound you on both sides of the ball. So actually, yes, Kyrie 1, PG 2. I got D-Book 3. 4 is Klay. I think people are really forgetting how good a healthy Klay is. Like, he's not the flashiest player, but 60 points on 11 dribbles and 37 points in a quarter, I don't know how you don't take that top 5. And then, like I said, my 5th spot, Zach LaVine, with Beal being 6 right outside. Actually, this last one has nothing to do with sports, but Dasani water is absolutely fucking disgusting. And if you go out your way to choose to drink Dasani, you need to be eradicated from this earth, because there's no reason you walk into a grocery store and you have all of these choices of water and you choose Dasani. That's disgusting.